What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tevi, and this is Invest with T-Claus. Before we get into today's topic, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been watching and sharing, as we have now officially passed the 20 subscriber mark, meaning that it's no longer just the people that I've told personally about the channel or my direct family, but it's now people who you've shared with who are also joining the family here. So again, thank you. I appreciate the support. And every like and share does truly help the channel grow and get bigger. With that out of the way, today's topic is going to be on my top 10 picks for 2021. I know that with the new year starting, a lot of you are either contemplating starting a brand new portfolio or looking at expanding the current portfolio that you have and wondering how you can diversify a little bit. So the companies and opportunities that I will present you with today are going to be aimed at achieving that 25% return or greater that we've mentioned in the last video that I posted, and I'll link that up here. But also, remember that this is not going to be a deep dive into every single one of them, but more of an overview, just to kind of give you the highlights of why I think they will outperform the market in 2021. So with that said, let's get into the video. The first three companies on the list here will give you some exposure to the tech sector, and it probably doesn't come as any surprise that the first one I will highlight is Apple. Apple is a tech giant, and last year they returned a massive 81% gain for their investors. In the process, became the first US-based company with a market cap now over $2 trillion. And this was in big part due to the introduction of their first 5G iPhone, as well as some exposure to the healthcare sector. Now, for 2021, some of the things that we do expect from Apple is one, the introduction of their new Apple AirTag. This is going to be a combination of a hardware that you can place on your belongings like purse, keys, and that will be matched to software to help track your belongings. Second one on the list that's rumored to be released or at least introduced this year is going to be their Apple glasses. This is going to be a massive play on the AR or augmented reality sector and technology. And this is promised to be glasses that are going to be stylish and not just a bulky headset. And the last one, and this is really what's going to carry them, is the increase in their paid subscriptions. Last year, they were at 600 million paid subscribers. And this year, they're projected to hit 750 million paid subscribers. So massive revenue coming in. No guarantee that they will hit the 81% similar to last year, but they are sure to have another massive year and return over 25%. The second one on the list is going to be TSM, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. They are the world's #1 and largest manufacturer of high-performing chip. They count among their customers Apple, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Intel. And last year, they returned a massive 100% to their investors. And this year, with the advent of 5G, autonomous car software is becoming a thing, and the growing need for high-speed connectivity, you can see that the demand for high-performing computer chips is ever increasing. And this year, 2021, is sure to be another great year for TSM. The third one on the list is going to be UMC, or United Microelectronics. They're in the same business as TSM, and they rank #4 on the global scale. They're also more reasonably priced than TSM at just $8.61 at the time of the recording. Now, one of the things that differentiates them from TSM is that they make slightly less advanced and larger computer chips. Because they're no longer competing directly with TSM and they're in now their own subgroup in the same sector, they actually were able to grab a lot more market share, and last year returned for their investors around 216% gains over the course of the year. Now, for 2021, again, because they're not competing directly with TSM, they are expected to have another great year as we move forward. As a bonus, and this is going to be applicable for Apple, TSM, and UMC, all three companies pay a dividend to their shareholders every quarter. So great stocks to be invested in, and should return more than 25% for the year. The next three companies on the list here will give you some exposure to the financial technology and cryptocurrency sector. Now, the first one on the list is going to be Square. Square, if you don't know, actually started as a mobile app that you could pair with a physical square that you would plug into your phone, and within minutes would allow you to take credit card transactions on your phone for your business. Now, since then, they've grown to a much larger digital ecosystem that allows you to not only take credit card payments, but also support payroll services and offer loan options to all business types. Now think of coffee shops, food trucks, and other small to medium-sized businesses where you shop. Most of them are likely going to be using Square services to conduct their transaction and their payrolls. Square last year returned a massive 237% for its investors, and this was in the middle of a pandemic, right? Now, this year for 2020, with the economy set to reopen to the fullest with the vaccines by midsummer, you can see how this is shaping up to be another great year for Square. And another bonus for Square is that it gives you a nice, safe way to play the cryptocurrency trend without necessarily buying cryptocurrencies directly. These next two will give you exposure to the cryptocurrency world and allow you to ride the Bitcoin wave. If you didn't know, Bitcoin has now returned over 300% for its investors, has crossed over the $40,000 mark for one Bitcoin before dropping back down a little bit. But what's really fueling the growth of Bitcoin at this point is no longer because of small investors like you and I, but it's really being driven by large institutions like Square, MicroStrategy, and PayPal, who see it as a store of value. Think of it as digital gold. So what are these two companies that I'm talking about? The first one is going to be Marathon Patent Group, ticker symbol MARA, M-A-R-A. The second one is going to be Riot, and this is Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol R-I-O-T. And last year, Marathon Patent Group saw a rise of over 800% for its shares, and Riot saw a rise of over 1,000% for its shares. Now, that's massive gains. Both companies' core competencies is going to be on cryptocurrency mining, and really all that means is that they're using high-powered computers to solve complex problems to generate more cryptocurrency coins. So as long as Bitcoin stays in high value and other cryptocurrencies continue to gain in popularity, the demand for more coins will continue to rise, and so will the need for each one of these businesses. So along with Square, this is going to be a great way to play the cryptocurrency trend without having to spend $40,000 for one Bitcoin or $1,000 for one coin of Ethereum or some of the other large cap cryptocurrencies. Currently, the stock for Mara and Riot is right around just over $20 a share. The last four on the list here are not going to be individual stocks, but instead are going to be high-performing ETFs. Each ETF is comprised of 30 to 40 different companies that are managed by the folks at ARK Invest. And the reason why they made the list is because for the past 5 years, the folks at ARK Invest have been solely focused on innovative and disruptive technology and have tailored these ETFs to essentially invest into the future. Now, to make sure that I don't miss anything, I'm going to be using my notes. And the first one on the list is going to be ARKK, A-R-K-K. And that is going to be their most balanced ETF. And it's solely focused on different companies in different sectors that go after innovation. And for the past year, they returned a 171% gain for their investors. And over the past 5 years, returned a 595% gain for their investors. The second one on the list is going to be ARKG, A-R-K-G. And that's going to be focused on innovation and disruption in the healthcare industry. And over the past year, they returned a 209% for their investors. And over the past 5 years, they returned 412% for their investors. The third one on the list is going to be ARKQ, A-R-K-Q, and it's going to be focused on innovation in robotics and autonomous technology. Now, over the past year, they returned a 122% for their investors, and over the past 5 years, they returned 356% for their investors. The last one on the list is going to be ARKW, A-R-K-W, and that is going to be focused on innovation on the Internet of Things. So think of companies like Amazon, Shopify, they're all going to be part of that specific ETF. And for their returns over the last year, they made a massive gain of 158%, and over the past 5 years, they gained 578% for their investors. Now, the secret sauce behind these ETF isn't simply the fact that they're focused on innovation and disruption, but it's also the fact that the folks at ARK Invest actually are actively trading the companies within these ETFs. So when the market dips, they use those opportunities to reinforce their positions. And when the market goes up, they'll sell at a higher price and lock in higher returns for their investors. Now, you can clearly see that there's a trend here where they've been outperforming the market by a wide margin, by several multiples over the past few years. But what they're actually guaranteeing their investors is that they're looking at returning year over year 25%. And if you remember, in the last video I posted about active and passive investing, and I'll link it up here for you guys, you can check it out. 25% is really when fun things start happening when you look at your year over year compound annual growth rate on your investment. And so even though they're guaranteeing 25%, again, they've been outperforming the market by several multiples here. There's no doubt in my mind that a portfolio that incorporates a combination of these top 10, along with Tesla, NIO, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint, by the end of this year, will experience massive gains that is sure to feel something like this. Don't say I didn't warn you. Now, all joking aside, I want to remind everybody watching again that I am not a financial advisor, and my only goal here is to bring awareness to some of the opportunities out there in the stock market. Now, if any of the stocks discussed today caught your attention and you would like me to make a video from it, make sure to leave a comment below. Also, if you currently own any of these stocks and have experienced some massive gains, let me know in the comments below as well. All right, people, this will do it for today's video. I hope that you found some value in today's content, and if you did, please drop me a like and share with your friends. And also remember to ring that notification bell and subscribe so that you don't miss any future content. With that said, take care, stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.